Okay, hello and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I think it's number 10 now, could be anyway. And I have two topics. One is interstitial cystitis, and the other, bit of a vague question, but then again, that doesn't matter. Vague means I can answer a lot, is how to help someone who is drinking too much alcohol. So let's get on with that before I go through interstitial cystitis. So when it comes to trying to help someone who is drinking too much alcohol, really the first thing to ask is, does that person want help? Okay, because if that person does not want help, it's going to be very difficult to help them. So if they do want help, okay, then there are a number of options. There's two things to do. One is you can actually help them decrease the amount of alcohol they are drinking. And the other is to help protect their body from the poisons that alcohol creates through the body, which there are different kinds and types depending on what alcohol and how much is being drunk. So first of all, if someone is drinking a lot of alcohol, it's good to try and find out, well, why? Are they doing it because they like it and they just love the feeling of being drunk? Is it because of habit? Is it because they are trying to decrease stress and they're trying to numb their reality? So if there are some sort of major reasons, like they're trying to numb reality, they're very stressed, what can you do to actually decrease the stress and help them to change? So on that front, which we'll talk about first, decreasing stress and trying to change habits, if it's a habit, there are some great tools I recommend, like learning meditation, learning mindfulness. And you can shortcut this by using, one of the things I use is an app called BrainTap. If you want more about BrainTap, if you go to my brain-based wellness section on my website, I'll make sure that when this video goes up on YouTube, there'll be a link in below it where you can go to that, and then you can go and check out BrainTap. But basically, BrainTap is a great app. It's really important to use headphones, because what it does is it plays very slightly different beats in each ear, and there are various different hypnotic tracks there, like there is actually how to overcome addictions, how to change habits. And so it's kind of hypnotherapy and suggestion and visualization mixed with technology to help try and unwind and relax the brain. Because if you decrease people's stress, then they're going to have decreased need for things like alcohol and sweet foods and sugary foods. And there's habit changing guides in there. There's an entire nutritional series to help improve people's nutrition, which we'll get to in a moment. So yeah, basically, first of all, does someone with alcohol drinking too much want help? Why are they drinking so much? Are there things that you can do to help lower the stress in their environment, change their habits? How much of control do you have without being controlling? Because that might add to the stress, if it is stress. So first of all, find out if they want help, then look at trying to find out why they're drinking. And then there are things you can do to help mitigate the problems. Now, the first one is, of course, the liver. Fatty liver, from basically the poison of alcohol and what it gets changed into in the brain as well. So doing things like making sure they're taking a multivitamin mineral, because chronic alcoholism is related to various different nutritional deficiencies that leads to nerve damage. So there are things you can do to help improve the health of the liver. My favorite thing is Ganoderma lucidum, because it also improves the mind and helps the mental side and de-stressing as well. So I'll put a link to my favorite drinks with that in below the video as well. And I'll put a note down here as well. So brain-based wellness and Ganoderma link as well, and why that's so good. But then there are various different other herbs. There are different things that protect the liver, like N-acetylcysteine. Milk thistle can be good to help protect the liver. But basically, doing a detox can create great changes, because sometimes it's the toxins themselves that are almost creating a craving that's creating and driving the alcoholism. So actually doing a proper detox can really help as well. So if someone is interested in really detoxing, then reach out and contact me at Body Imbalance. Phone number 01707 662 704. I'll put a link as well. So yeah, basically, why are they doing it? Do they want to stop? What are the stresses and strains? And then there are various nutrients to protect the liver and the brain, and then also calories as well, because if they're drinking a lot of wine, a lot of beer, there's a lot of calories. And so you can help decrease the amount of calories and increase sort of feeling and fullness by basically giving them lots of fiber. And you can get fiber drinks. And you just add fiber to water, get them to drink it with every meal. Increasing protein, so you can use protein powders, because that again helps the liver, because there are various proteins that your liver needs in order to detoxify. So basically look at improving their diet and their nutrition. And again, in the Brain Tap app, there's a whole series on improving nutrition as well through diet, etc., etc., etc. So now alcohol is also, if you have cystitis, interstitial cystitis, then alcohol is one of the things you should try and avoid as well. So what is interstitial cystitis? Well, for those of you that don't know, basically it's not quite sure. Basically, it's painful burning, urination, maybe recurrent infections. It's not sure whether it's actually a bacterial infection in the bladder, a viral infection in the bladder, and maybe I'm still going. So it's not sure whether it's a viral infection or a bacterial infection, or whether it's some kind of other damage that's happened to the bladder wall, allowing the bladder wall to become leaky and literally irritate the nerves. So you may have heard of leaky gut, and you can get a leaky blood-brain barrier, and you can also get a leaky bladder wall as well. So what can you do to actually decrease the irritation? Well, you can decrease the foods that can irritate the bladder. So things like alcohol, carbonated, fizzy, sugary drinks, too much sugar, wheat, dairy products in some people. I think I made a list of other things that can be a problem as well. Yes, because it could be an autoimmune condition as well. So dairy, eggs, pork can be one as well. Soya products, or highly processed foods like wheat. Oh yes, highly processed rapeseed oil, or if you're watching in America, canola oil. Now, cold pressed rapeseed oil is probably fine, but I only say probably. But the highly processed stuff that most people use to cook with, rapeseed oil, probably not very good. And also citrus fruits can be a problem, and pickled foods as well. Tomatoes, possibly some spices as well, artificial sweeteners, they can all irritate the bladder. So try an avoidance diet, where you perhaps try eating only things that aren't so irritable to most people, which is brown rice, lamb, and pears. They seem to be the most unallergenic foods, and you could just try eating brown rice, pears, and lamb just for a few days to see how you feel, and then you start adding in other foods. But also you can go on an anti-inflammatory diet. So a diet full of polyphenols, so lots of berries, very, very good, lots of herbs rather than spices, perhaps, for interstitial cystitis. Lots of omega-3, so small oily fish, or an omega supplement. So there are supplements that I recommend as well, multivitamin. It's a good one. And then there's a meal replacement if you don't like quality proteins, or you don't have enough protein in your diet. There's anti-inflammatory meal replacements that I could recommend to you. I might put a link to one of them actually in the under the YouTube video as well. There you go, that's one of them. Make sure you're taking enough vitamin D3 as well. Omegas, a good probiotic. There are some different probiotics that are really good at helping to try and sort of clear out the system, or well, not clear out the system, repopulate the body with the right bacteria. But then you may want to take natural antimicrobials, antivirals, and antibacterials. Again, I will put some links to some which I think are safe for most people to try and take. Below the video, I'll probably put a protocol in there as well. So what else did I want to say about interstitial cystitis? Yeah, I mean, there are lots of things you could try. Aloe vera, aloe water, all kinds of different nutrients and foods. So if you want my full interstitial cystitis protocol, then give me a ring, reach out, we can set up a consultation, we can find out what may be best for you. Now I'm just going to check to see if anything's come up on Facebook. Any other questions at the moment? No, I think we're okay. So if you do have questions, if you conditions you'd like me to talk more about, then please give me a ring. If it's too specific, then or if you have lots of questions, it may actually be better that we actually have a consultation. So again, if you do want my help personally, then reach out and we shall try and arrange something, whether it's via Zoom or in person, face to face, as long as there's a need to do that. Okay, be well and be fantastic, be happy wherever you are. And now we shall stop. Be well.